All right, welcome back, fifth graders, to part 2 of your element project, the part that allows you to be creative and put together a presentation to show your audience what you have learned about your elements. Your audience being your teachers and hopefully your classmates. You'll get a chance to for them to see what you created and maybe comment on or learn a little bit about your element. All right, so I'm hoping that the majority of the people who are watching this video or listening to this video have had some experience with Google Slides. I know my class previously has already made a couple of them. I know that in Tech Lit there was the possibility of creating a Google Slide presentation. I don't know if all the classes were able to make it to that or not. So hopefully you were able to, but if not, I'm going to walk you through a very brief and quick tutorial as to how to get started and a couple of the tools and tricks. We specifically in the rubric, fifth graders have decided to not be extremely rigid. We want to allow creativity. We want your interests and your imagination to kind of come through. Would we like there to be pictures added? For sure. How many pictures is up to you. What looks cluttered, what looks artistic, what looks like it's the right amount, those kinds of things. Can you add a video? Sure, if you can figure out how to add a video, is it mandatory? No, but we are looking for creativity. We would really love to see fun and engaging projects versus just a bunch of words typed onto different slides. So be creative with this. Take a look at the rubric. There are some points that are going to be awarded for that creativity and for the use of certain amounts of tools. So please play around. Have some fun with it. I've told my students multiple times that the number one way that I learned how to use anything, PowerPoint, Google Slides, any of those presentation type projects was by playing around, by just manipulating things and trying all the buttons and trying all the tools. You always have the opportunity to undo a mistake that you made. So please be aware of that moving forward. We are not so much judging you on the perfection of your project, but the creativity and the fact that you were able to get 10 to 15 of those questions answered about your element. That brings me back to another point. Hopefully, if you are watching or listening to this video right now, you have completed the questions. You are done gathering your research and gathering your information, so you are now ready to just create your Google Slide presentation. This link, hopefully, if you're listening to it and watching it, you will have already found it. It is in week 2 work. That is what this whole second week is about, creating that Google Slide presentation to present to your teachers and your classmates about your element. So I'm going to show just a very quick tutorial of how to get into Google Slides. You are going to log into your Hastings Apps accounts, just like you would have or did, hopefully, with your Google Doc, if you chose to use that as your note-taking or question-answering format. If you did not use that, and this is the first time you've been into Google in a while, don't forget that we have this little 9-square button in the upper right-hand corner that will eventually get you to this symbol right here, the little yellow rectangle with the corner folded over. That is Google Slides. Okay, and as you look at my drive here right now, you look at my Google Drive, you can see that I've got a bunch of projects that have been shared with me, previous projects, animal projects, planet projects, all those kinds of things that we've already done. But if this is your first time into Google Drive for this presentation, you're going to want to click on the blank, just like you did with the Google Docs, the blank document. All right. Now, you're going to get to this opening screen, and it will always bring you to what we call a title layout or the title slide layout. Okay, if you don't like that layout, or if you'd like to in previous or future slides change that layout, guys, this is one of the key buttons and key features that you can look at. Right in the top middle, right here, you have a layout button, and you can change that layout to whatever you want it to be. You can see there are different ways to put the words, different places to put pictures if you find them, those kinds of things. I would recommend staying with this. It is titled the title slide, and very easy to put your name of your element in the middle and your name underneath it so we can easily determine whose presentation this is. But as I get deeper into the presentation, there's nothing wrong with changing that. If you look on the right-hand side, there is something called themes. Themes are not a bad thing. Themes are perfectly acceptable. For me, I don't like using themes because it does take away some of my creativity. It forces me to use that same scaffold, the same type of slide all the way through. It does create the consistent pattern and things look the same, but I don't feel like it's as creative. So what I do with this is I hit the little X and I open it up, and so now I've got a bigger window to work with. Now, this is obviously very plain. We are looking at a white screen. You've got the click to add subtitle. Again, very simple. Click to add title. You would type in your element name. Click to add subtitle. Type in your name there. Very straightforward. But more than likely, most of us do not just want to leave it as a white background. Now, there are ways to add images. There are plenty of ways. I'm going to let you play around with that. But if you just want to do the basic and you want to change the background color, right next to layout and the top, you should see a button here that says background. And that pops up a small white box in the middle, and you can see where it says color, and across from color, a white circle. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm really not interested in keeping that white background. I would like to do something a little bit different, a little bit flashier. So I'm going to go with a highlighter green, yellow, whatever you want to call that, background. I could choose an image. It would take me to my computer, maybe look for images. I could also go into the internet and possibly do that, but I'm just going to stay with that. I'm going to click done, and now that has made my background more visible, more exciting, and you can see that my font still shows up really, really well. Now, let's say my font doesn't show up. I choose a background that doesn't work really well. One of the keys here, guys, is if you type in all kinds of great information, but we can't read it because the letters in the background are so close in color, or you decide to put a picture in the background and the letters are the same color as that background, we might struggle to see your information and not be able to give you full credit. So be aware. Now, my background or my letters do show up nicely, but I can click on this little letter A and I can change the color of my letters that are being typed. I'm going to leave mine as black just for this case because I'm in a situation where I can easily see what I am doing here. So if I type in Mr. Okay, I'll just leave it at that for right now just so I can wait. It didn't appear, so let me go here again. There, it looks like it's going to work now. So type in Mr. Okay, you can see that my Mr. shows up nice and the situation is right there. All right. Now, I talked about maybe going with a different layout. If I want to add a new slide, all I need to do is go into Insert and go to New Slide towards the bottom, and it will create a new slide. Now, you can see that it's already given me a different layout. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this layout either. The top row is your title, so like maybe what the question was or what you want to put in there. And the bottom part is where you would type. That's a text box. But for me, again, I like the creativity. I like something different. So one of the favorite things I like to do is I like to go with the title-only slide. Okay, so I've got my question. I can add pictures, and at any point, guys, I have the opportunity to add text boxes. I can go back to that insert button, and I can see the second one down as a text box, and I can simply drag and move, and I can create words and text boxes anywhere I want on that slide. All right, so that is something that I like the flexibility and the creativity of. I do not care how you choose to accomplish that. All right, now let's say I don't like that text box where it is and I'm really not liking it there. I can simply go back to that bar up on top, and you can see my two little arrows, one forward and one backward. The back one is the undo button. It will remove what I just did. So this is where that playing around tool or playing around concept really helps. That undo tool allows me to get rid of anything that I don't want on there, as long as it hasn't been 5 to 10 clicks away, and sometimes I lose other things that I actually want. That's about all I really want to show you today, guys. One more thing. I do want to show you how to insert an image or a picture. All right. So if I come up here and I click on Insert, you can see there's plenty of ways, plenty of things I could insert. I could insert word art. I could insert a video. I can insert any of those kinds of things. I'm going to go up to Image right now. Okay. And it's going to ask me to search for different things. I can search the web. I can put whatever else I want in there. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to search the web just because I'm looking for pictures that are outside of my computer right now. All right. So I'm going to go with the fact that I'm going to search for, I'm just going to type in something nice and easy here. A ball or balloons popped up there, I guess. So I'm going to go with balloons. I'm going to click on that, and you will see that it's giving me some images of balloons. All right, I can pick which one I really, really want, and I could take that and I can click on that, and it says to, if you look at the bottom of my screen now, I have that balloon selected, and I can insert it, and that will add it into my slideshow. So very easy way to do that. There is another way to do it, but I'll let you guys try to figure that out as you go through it. That is very straightforward, very simple. I can also maneuver the size of this by manipulating the corners of these pieces. Okay, so I can shrink the size of those balloons. I can make them make it move to a different area. I can rotate it if I want to spin. Going to let me spin it here. Yep, so I can spin these balloons if I click on the top. So there's plenty of things I can do. And then again, guys, if at the end of this I realize I don't want those balloons, I can go back to my undo. Well, I guess it's going to keep the balloons there because I've done a lot of manipulating to it. But you can see that I can eventually get rid of those balloons. All right. And guys, here's the biggest thing, the biggest hint I can give you when it comes to this. We are going to put a discussion board that will help to put questions forward for students to ask of their teacher. And if you're not comfortable putting it on the discussion board, then Schoology message us or ask us to set up a Zoom meeting or whatever to try and figure out best ways to make this happen. This is still an opportunity for you to ask questions. You are not out there on a limb by yourself. Okay, but I think this is a really fun way to show some creativity, have some fun, and kind of some unpressured opportunities to figure out some new tools with which to use. All right, thank you, fifth graders, and enjoy making your elements presentation. I look forward to watching them.